So before we start layout 3, I want to tell you that you are going to need this piece that we punched the circles out of, or you may have already punched the circles out of or haven't punched the circles out of. You do need the whole piece. So save that before we start layout 3. Okay, working on page layout 3, and look what I did. So I didn't pay attention, and I just thought this was scrap, and so I wrinkled it all up, which is why I made a little quick video ahead of this for you to not make the same mistake. Let's just pretend for a moment that I didn't do that. So what you are going to do is about, I think it was around 7 3/8 over, you want to cut this straight down, because then you're going to be making two pieces, one for page 1, one for page 2. So because I wrinkled mine up, I'm actually going to be using a page I cut of mink cardstock. And instead of sticking all the things to the back like that, I'm going to actually stick them to the front of mine because I made a mistake. So you'll just notice that difference when you're in here as you're watching me put this all together. The other thing you're going to need to do is that you've got one piece that goes, basically on the back of one of these. And we're going to cut that instead, because that is going to be for your shaker that we're going to put under the glasses. So you need to cut that out. And then whatever scrap paper you want to use, cut the top out, and we'll make that shaker in a bit. Okay, let's make the page. Okay, here we go. As I said, I had to make my own paper because I totally messed up the circles. And so that's what you see me doing here. I took a piece of mink paper and cut it approximately to the size of the punch outs that I was supposed to keep, and just added my different circles on top instead of behind. You're going to be putting yours behind, so make sure that you do that. And one of them is going to be a square piece of paper, and you're just going to glue that on the back of this, and then it'll look just like mine now, but yours will be the correct version. So next then I put this green paper out thinking that was layout 1, but it really isn't. That's layout 2. So you'll see me change that up in a minute. But you get your stickers out, your arrow stickers pointing up, and put that right flush with the left-hand side of the page. And then I think you'll start to see where I'm hesitating because I'm suddenly thinking this paper doesn't go here because they're telling me to put down the circle paper first. So it takes me a second, but then I realize, okay, got the wrong piece there. Oh yes, there we go. I've got the thin piece now. And so you're going to put that paper down. It looks like about a 1/2 inch from the top, 1/2 inch from the bottom, but flush with the right side. And then you match the other one right up to it, and that is 1 inch from the top for that green paper. All the papers in this set are so pretty and so manly. It's nice to see. After this one, we're going to go grab that gray linen paper, which I love so much that I bought a bunch in bulk, because we're allowed to actually buy one sheet of each set in bulk. We don't get to choose it, but I loved this, and so I definitely bought that sheet because it was so fantastic. Just such a good look on here. And now you're gonna see just the last little bit where I'm putting down my photo, and then you're gonna find out that my camera died, so the next section is coming up. Well, sadly, as I was working on this, my phone died. Even though it was hooked up to a charger, it apparently wasn't charging at the same time. So where we were was putting down this mat over here, and this goes in 1.5 inches and 2 1/8 from the bottom. So put down your mat there. The next thing I did was I took foam tape for this Hey Handsome. Put that on, making sure that the foam tape is not on the photo itself, that it's just above here. So I put all the foam tape on so that I could slide these things under. So these two pieces, There's a long piece, and it looked like this, except it was long, and it had already dovetailed ends, and so you just glue those onto these punch out pieces that you had and tuck those under, and then add the hay, and I did pop that up. Then I added the star and the little plus sign and a star over here. Once I was done with that, I came over here. This was 3 stickers. So it was this sticker here, right here. I cut it in half and put it right along where that circle is, but flush with the edge of the photo. The second thing is I took this piece here, cut off the top, and then just lined that flush with the little tag piece. Then I took the little bow tie here and cut that in half and tucked that there. So that's to catch you up. Sorry about that. And let's move on to the shaker. All right, I'm gonna move this down a little closer so you can see better. All right, here we go. This is gonna be another shaker. It works the same way as the last ones. You're gonna be an expert by the time you do this now. Let me put this under here so you can see a little better. Okay, so again, first thing I'm gonna do is take my piercing tool, go all the way around the edge of this piece just to loosen that from the foam tape, okay? And then I'm gonna take this outside carrier sheet piece off, and I'm going to line this up. Now you can see I made a little mistake there. It's not going to show because it's all going to be covered up by the shaker pieces. All right, and put that down. Of course, get my finger stuck again. Press it down so that it'll be easier to peel off. And then we're gonna start taking this off. Now pull the carrier sheet part first. Open that up. Now you can see what's coming off. So just pull so all that foam tape is no longer attached. Okay. Sticky, sticky. So take your anti-static pouch inside, just to try to get a little of that stickiness off the inside, not off the outside of this, but inside, all right? And then grab a few pinches of beads or whatever you want to put in. Any kind of confetti type stuff will work. So if you don't have these in particular, you can even cut your own little confetti on your Cricut or even with scissors to put inside of this. You could use rice, anything tiny like that. Okay, now I already have started to peel this off. It kind of is, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that down and we'll peel that off in a second. And you want to line up the best you can. My finger's stuck again. That is some strong adhesive. And you could, like I said before, you could anti-static the inside of that if you want to. I didn't on this. And then just put some adhesive on. Sometimes this works. It has for the rest of the pieces I've used, but if you are having trouble with your adhesive, sometimes adhesive like this does not like the plastic because it's not really holding it down. Because I've been putting the, holding it down with something tighter. This has been working okay, but you can use a runner also. And just try to line that up with your acetate. And let me get this, put it down, we'll let it dry, and we'll move on. All right, time to put the shaker on here. So I'm just going to do this. This in your picture, it goes underneath the photo. If you really wanted to do it that way, you would have to lift your photo. So it's going to be slightly on my photo, but I'm not going to glue it to my photo. I'm going to glue around it. So I'm just going to put a lot of glue here. Or you could use runner. And I want it to sort of match up, even though this is a bigger one circle than all these because we had to cut especially. I'm gonna put that down there like that. And only the glue is gonna be off the photo so you can still slip your photo in under here and on here. This is why it's really nice to put your photos down first, but it is not impossible because I do it all the time. So I'll slip my photo under here because it's not glued on and up in here. All right, and then we have one last little piece here is the glasses. You could totally liquid glass these, and this just goes over anywhere you want. They've got it kind of tipped this way, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then let that dry. And then if you want to, of course, liquid glass the lenses, which would be awesome. And I probably will in a moment. Now let's move on to page 2. Okay, again, I had to use regular paper because I, wrinkled this up. So you already have a piece that you've cut now on this, and you're just gonna go ahead and put those squares of the blue and the notebook kind of paper behind it and your photo behind it, and then lay it down. I'm gonna have to stick mine on top, and I also had to make the circles a little bit smaller because that's the punch I had. So let's move on. Okay, here we are on page 2, and we're going to go ahead and I'm adding my circles in again. You're gonna do this behind the holes in your page again. My circles are a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller than yours because I cut them with a punch. I tried to hand cut the circles first and that didn't work very well. So I just pulled out the largest punch I had and put those on there. So then you go ahead and butt this whole green paper right up against that. And I believe, I'm not sure if I looked and see how far that was. About an inch down, it looks. And then the linen piece goes about a half an inch from the top of the green paper. And then you start putting in your photo mats, and it's 3/8 of an inch from the bottom of the green paper for the first one. And then the one above it just goes a 1/4 inch above it. And I think they moved it over to actually slightly overlap that gray linen, but I didn't. And I just put it on there and put the one next to it. And I didn't have my photo placeholder there, so. But anyway, go ahead and put your little embellishments up at the top, that curved banner, the green heart, and then a little black X, and then the right handman sticker with the little white sticker arrow under it. And then I popped up the You're a Classic. You could have also popped up that right hand man. I didn't on mine. But the You're a Classic I popped up there, and then you add a photo to where that circle is if you want. And then this is a sticker. I tucked it slightly, but you could trim it or you could just put it right directly above. And then a little star sticker there. And then I took those 2 banners, rounded banner stickers, cut them, and then line them up right against that photo mat. And added a couple things. Now, you might notice in this that I forgot to put down my arrow sticker, so I did have to move my star slightly, so this would be a good time to stop and put your arrow sticker down before you finish adding in those stars. And that should have been done first, but I didn't do it first. So and then just I put some photo tape around the mat because I didn't want my heart to stick to the mat. And I also didn't put any glue on anything that was actually touching the mat. I just glued below it. So add that heart on, and then you've got a little X there. And gosh, do we have anything else? Oh yeah, this is where I put that sticker in there. I had to move my star. So that's it. Thanks so much. Okay, so we're done. Here is page 1. And you did see I did liquid glass those glasses. Hopefully you can see in the light there. And page 2. And we're done. And we got 3 shakers on 3 pages. People are gonna love those. Thanks, everybody.